All right. So my name is Øystein Isaksen, and I'm gonna show you the game I'm developing, which is called Yield Fall of Rome, and this is the demo available at Steam at the moment. Right now, I'm gonna show you the campaign of the week, which is one type of a campaign that we're quite proud of. There are some other options there as well, the introductory campaign and custom campaigns, but we're gonna go for the campaign of the week. The special thing about campaign of the week is that you compare your scores against others that play exactly the same campaign that is auto-generated each week. So let's get going. Colonia, this is kind of the Germans that you're playing in this week's campaign, and the province of Colonia, which is owned by the Roman Empire at the moment, is your first mission. And this is kind of the setting for the whole game, is that the Romans are about to fall back and are crumbling as an empire around 400 years after Christ, and it's up to you to try to fill that void with the Germans this week. So let's go into Colonia. There is some missions here, and the kind of the goal of the mission is to rebuild all 3 religious sites. So that's what you're going to try to do. I'm going to show you what those sites looks like, and let's just start the mission. We can already see that there's been people playing this mission, so we can compare ourselves to that player. Right. So this is the start of the game, and as we can see, there's some tips up here telling us that we should try to build a village somewhere, and we can click on the unit, which is the settler in the middle here, and this is our king. We can come back to him and move somewhere that it makes sense. Of course, I want to have as many resources as possible, so I'll go here because those wild boars around there is quite cheap, so I'll just try to do whatever is the easiest for me to get my money back from as quick as possible. So I'm gonna build this village here, and then you can see the borders kind of says something about which resources are available for me. But not only that, I also need to have some technology to actually make use of those resources. So I'll as the tip says here, I'll have to go into the tech tree. So the tech tree is over here, up in the top left corner. You can have a look at that one. And the one that I'm looking for is hunting, which is those wild boars over here, which was the most common resource around or inside my borders at the moment. So I'll research those or that tech. And as you can see, that set me back five gold. I now have 7 left. So this is a very important part of the game, of course, is your economy. And what is special about this game compared to a lot of other similar civilization kind of like games is that you can harvest the resources straight away. So I'll show you that. You can click on the resource. Basically down here you can then choose to hunt the wild boar. You can click on that one. You get 2 population and 2 hammers for that and some points. And make some interesting sounds as well. So that means that I now actually have some hammers and some population inside my new village. And I can actually go inside the village itself and open the kind of the village menu. And inside here, I can use those hammers that I was able to harvest, which is basically production or kind of, yeah, you can see more or less like manpower. One of the things that we can buy is called the custom house, which will instantly give us 5 gold, which is quite useful early on, at least. Once that is built, we got the 5 gold in our treasure. We can actually harvest a bit more, I think. So I think I'll go for this wild boar again. And let's open the city menu again. And there's something called the tavern that gives us +1 income, which is very useful. Obviously, the earlier you get that income running, the more it's gonna benefit us. So that's always something I recommend building early on. So we'll try that one. Right, so that was kind of the most obvious things I wanted to do. There are some different possibilities right now that, depending on what my main goals are, will vary a little bit. You can also move around on the map, as you can see on the mouse controls on the right here. You basically use the left mouse button to select a unit. You move it with the right mouse button, and then you can kind of hold the middle mouse button to pan the map around. You can obviously set up your own settings playing on a laptop or different setups. That makes more sense to maybe only use one button, for instance. Yeah, and you can zoom in and out. So what it was told earlier on was that the goal of this mission was to rebuild some religious sites, and as you can see, there are some, yeah, I don't know if it looks like religious sites, but that's what it's supposed to be, at least. So these are the religious sites. So here we got one which is very close to my starting city, which is nice. And as it says on the graphics here, it's basically infographics. It's basically 15 gold to rebuild it. So we not only have to get there with a unit, we also have to have at least 15 gold at the moment to basically do the rebuilding. You can see down here, there's also another ruin. So these kind of sites where the ruins are already exposed. So we can see them, and we can see over here is very far away. So the quite neat thing about this game is that some maps are also wrapped. So this is a wrapped map, basically meaning that you can just keep on scrolling and you get back to where you were. So the question is, to get to the farthest away one, is it better to go left or right? I think maybe because my king is positioned here that I should probably gonna go the left way and maybe take this on my way. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'll move it down here. Right. So what I did here was to actually explore a little bit. So every king has the ability to explore 2 hexes away, which is really useful in the beginning. And this is a kind of a goodie hut. So when I walk onto this next turn, I will instantly get 2 more supply. I already got 2 supply in Augsburg, but right now I'm going to build a scout, because this type of mission where you're going to rebuild these religious sites is very useful to have a lot of scouts, so you can basically get to those religious sites as quick as possible and to explore the lands, which could also be helpful in more than one way, but also for, you know, finding spots to build new cities, finding ways to exploit the land in the best possible way. And obviously there are some enemies here. So on every map, in every campaign, there will always be a Roman presence, and they have been there for a long time. So they already have some cities that is quite big, and most of the time they have more than one city as well. So on this map, I saw in the preview that they had 2 cities. So hopefully we'll find those as well, and we can trade with them or we can attack them. That's up to us. I think for this playthrough, I'm going to be quite peaceful. And on the top right corner, not only the Romans, which are the red, which we have a good relationship with now, is plus 75. So it's plus 100 is the best relationship you can have. And this is the Britons, which is King Alfred. We have not as good as a relationship. It's more a neutral one. So it's plus 25. So they will basically not attack us, but you shouldn't really move inside their borders and stuff like that. While as the Romans is kind of friendly, so we can move inside the borders, we can move through their units, there's no zone of control and so forth. So I think that's more or less what we could do in the first turn. And one turn is basically 1 year. So you can see on the top here, it's 401 AD. And if you paid very good attention, you can see that the high score on this level, I think was 16 years, so basically 16 turns. So if we are able to capture all those religious sites within 16 years or 16 turns, we will have the new high score for this week so far. So those high scores were just reset, but it's still something that we can aim for. So I'm going to end that turn, and the AI moves, and it's our turn again. And I think probably, I'm not sure if we're going to take this Guriat because we're not that desperate for supply. You can see that our scout actually used one of those supplies. So it's important for building units. Okay, I'll grab it actually. And then you can see 2 more supply. We now have 3 altogether, which is quite good this early in the game. I won't go straight to this other religious site because it's going to cost me 15 gold, which I don't have yet. So what I'm going to do is rather get ready for the one that is a bit further down, so I can actually buy that one once I get there, hopefully. And this one is so close, so it won't be a problem anyways, I think, to get there in time. So now I have a few different options. I could expand my empire to build some more cities with a settler that costs 2 hammers, so I need to harvest more wild boars, or I could basically make another horse scout to scout even more. I think I'll do that first actually, and then build a settler next up. What I could do though is that these guys only cost 3 each, so I could build 2 more of those. And then you can see my city here is almost filled up. So once it gets to 8, the village turns into a town. I'm going to show you now. And then it expands its borders automatically, and we get access to even more resources that we can exploit later on. So this is an important part of the game, that the cities grow and you get more access to more of the land around the city itself. Right, so I think that was it for turn 2. On to turn 3. So I think I'm going to use the king just to get as quickly as possible to this site over here. So that's going to take some time anyways. And now I'm in the middle of a forest, which makes it even slower. So I'll see if I can do something about that. Here's another Uguri hut that I discovered. So I think actually I'm going to go over there with this guy. And since I haven't explored any other factions yet, or any other like Romans or even Alfred the Blue faction, the Britons, the Romans is great for trading with, but because I don't know where they are or the city are yet, I'm going to prioritize actually building a settler instead of a trader, which could also be useful, but not until I know where to go with it. So I won't take that risk. I think it's not that important. I'll move over here, and there we can see actually some remains of a road, and that's quite certain that that's the Romans, because they are established type of faction, which means they have access to roads from the start, which we don't have, and not other factions either. So now at least I know where the Romans are. I might consider building the trader next up, because then I can get quite a lot of gold, and that's the important part, to actually rebuild those ruins, of course. Right, let's move on. We are already in 404 after Christ, and I'm gonna fetch this Guri hut, which gives us 4 more production, which is quite good actually. This guy can only move 1 step now because he's in the middle of the forest. The question is if I'm gonna use my technology tree now to actually buy. I think maybe I'm gonna do that. Roads is useful anyways, and since it's so important on this type of mission, I think I'm gonna actually... So roads can be built inside your empire, but also outside your empire, but not inside the enemy's empire or borders. So you have to... Oh, there's another ruin, and 2 other ruins actually, and that one is a good one. That's a gold, pure gold, straight up, which is really nice, of course. Right, should I explore a bit more, or should I just... I think I'm just gonna go for this one. Yeah. So the question is, where should I build? I don't think I should build down where the Romans are, because it's probably occupied. It's not like super nice sites down here either, but I think that's where I've been able to discover so far, so I'll go over there for now. And then I think I'm actually gonna build a trader. Since the Romans are friendly towards me, there shouldn't be a big issue for me building the trader and going over there. It's so short, so it should be, hopefully, quite safe for me to do that. Right, I think I'm quite happy with that. Cool. So at the moment I'm earning 5 gold each turn from my city. So as you can imagine, this goody hut is 5 gold alone, so it's basically gonna double my income this round. So it's super useful for me. Having the roads now makes it also much easier for me to get to that furthest away religious site. I think I'm gonna go back with this one, so I can go up to this religious site. And then maybe I should build a road to get even faster to the Roman city. And I think next turn I'm gonna build my first religious site to capture this one. I think it's gonna be good. So let's see where I can build this city. Ciao. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit and build it next turn. Right. So there's actually one building inside here that is very useful, which is called the National Bank, which gives me the golden number or the size of population that the city has. So that's something I should aim for as well, because then I can get a lot of money out of my city and also been able to pay for these different ruins. So around the city I now have 4 wild boars, which is 8 in population, and that's not enough. There is actually enough to build this called the National Bank. So it costs 12, but also it's not it requires that my settlement is level 3, so that happens at 18 in population. So I need 1 more in population, so that's gonna be a bit of a trouble actually. All right, let's hope I find maybe some goody huts or something that I can actually use for that. We'll see. Right, no, I think I'm gonna move on. Let's see if I find some Roman yeah, there's the Roman borders, so you can see the borders of that settlement. Exciting. So let's go up here. Actually, now I got 15. The question is if I should build here or not. I think going for forestry, so I can make use of the forest around here in a better way. I'm gonna go, yeah, I think I'm gonna go over here actually. Then I can build my city. And as you can see, this icon appears on everything that you can actually harvest. So it has to be inside your city and borders, and it also has to be something that you teched up. So one cool thing about wood is that you can actually cut it down as well. So you can actually earn money by cutting it down, but then of course you lose the opportunity to actually get production from it. So it's always something you have to consider. Okay, I build another road in this forest so I can get quicker to my religious sites. Right now I don't have enough money to build this religious site, so I'll have to wait until next turn to do that. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think that's good enough for now. Okay. Oh. Yeah, so that's a soldier. It's actually going to stop me a little bit from getting there quickly. Right now I think I'm gonna try to make this city grow. Can I do it? Can I do it? 612. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is gonna make this city grow and build that national bank so I can get a lot more cash. I only got 1 gold left now, but since I have this one, I can actually cut down a couple of forests so I can build this wood hut. And then, yeah, it's going to a city, right? And then again, I can do this national bank building. I get 90 gold back, as you can see. So that really makes a big difference, right? So this is what I would call, or we like to call, an impact round, is that you basically are on a roll a little bit and can do a lot of different things within the same round. And that's also what we're trying to achieve a little bit with the game, is that each round has a lot of different opportunities and that you can do a lot of interesting stuff each round and not getting kind of just clicking end turn to see stuff grow or stuff like that, which is quite typical for similar games, I think. Right? Is there anything else I could do here? So my main issue right now is that I need more gold, and I think I'm gonna need a scout, just a scout here to help this poor trader to actually find where the city is, just to make sure. That's gonna give me quite a lot of money, and we'll see if chopping down these trees and stuff together with the income that we got is gonna be enough. But it's hopefully gonna beat that 16 turns at least. Right. Let's see what we got here then. Okay. There it is. That's actually the capital, the Roman capital in the area. It's actually now worth 21 gold, and it's increasing each round with 3, so it's going to be 24 gold next round. Basically meaning that I'm probably going to be rich enough to have this 30 gold because of my income in addition. So that's perfect. I'm going to grab these production as well. And let's see what happens. Okay, that's actually the King Alfred as well. Right, 24 gold. Here we come. Oh, that's nice. And our relationship is also better because we traded with Romans, meaning they're actually now 100%, which is the best you can get. And we got 42 gold. One last thing that I'm going to tell you before I'm completing this mission is that there's some stuff on the right hand side here that is basically milestones. This mission, I haven't really focused that much on those. It's more the main mechanics, but those are more like cross mission milestones that you can get bonuses, great bonuses called policies. This is the policies, which gives you some very nice bonuses that you can use throughout the whole campaign. So this is quite important if you want to be competitive. So yeah, I'm gonna build actually this one there, and then I'm gonna rebuild this one here, and then I got I think good enough. Yeah, so it was a quite easy mission, and that's 9 turns, 10 turns, 9 turns. Yes, great. So I'm in the lead. Woohoo! The Dom, that's me. So yeah, quite happy about that. I hope some of this at least was understandable and that you get some impression of the game and how to win at it and how to kind of consider different things and a little bit of the depth in the game itself. It's a lot more to show, of course, throughout the campaign, and it gets so much harder when you start fighting other factions and stuff like that. But I think this gives you a quite good start to understand how and what it is about. Thank you.